What's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today we will be working on this Ford 2N series tractor. This is a tractor that my father and we picked up at an auction. When we first got it, we were not really sure what it was. We knew it was a Ford tractor, we knew it was an N series, but throughout comparing all the VIN numbers, we were able to confirm it is a 2N tractor, and we're going to be restoring this back to its original glory. So we're going to be doing a new wiring harness, cleaning it up, we're going to be repainting it, we're going to make it look nice and pretty. Now if you do have an N-series tractor and you don't know if it's an 2, 8, or 9 series, easiest way to tell is through the VIN numbers, and there are a handful of different VIN numbers that you can look for. The ones that are probably the most important are on the left side of the motor, right next to the oil filter. There is that VIN number, which you can look up to see what model your tractor is. Also behind the starter, and then there are a couple on the back end as well, so you can see if the front matches the back on your tractor. And I'll put a link down in the description to give a little bit more detail if you are looking to figure out what series your tractor is. So first thing that we're going to do on this tractor is we're going to remove this hood, and then I'm going to wheel it out there. We're going to power wash it, and then we'll get started on taking out the wiring harness. So there are 1 bolt on the left and right side on the front, and there are 4 on the back. Now obviously this one's from an auction, so there's only 2 on the back, and then there's 2 on the front. So go ahead and take these off real quick. Okay, so once you get your bolts undone, go ahead and take off your air filter and your radiator cap. And then if you've undone all the bolts, you should be able to just lift it right off of there. Gas tank. The gas tank is attached. Okay, now since we got the top off, I'm going to disconnect the battery real quick, and then we're going to wheel it out into the open, and we're going to power wash it real quick so we can get a better idea of where everything's at. It's been about 4 to 5 hours. We're going to push it back into the shop, and then we'll start working on the wiring harness. I'm going to steer. Dude, come on. Okay, now since we got this back in the carport, the next thing that we're going to accomplish is we're going to start tackling the wiring harness. So I have it all laid out here of where it needs to go. First thing that we're going to put in is the coil. So right now this is a 12-volt coil, and the one on here is a 6-volt coil. And this tractor has an inline resistor because it was originally converted from 12-volt, but it still had a 6-volt coil. So we're going to go ahead and put a 12-volt coil on there and get rid of that inline resistor, and go ahead and just replace the whole wiring harness because there's a lot of redneck stuff over here. Okay, now since I got that coil pack on, the next major thing that I need to replace is this alternator. We're not really sure the condition of this alternator, so we're going to just go ahead and replace it. Have a brand new one sitting off over on the side. There is 1 bolt at the bottom, and then there is going to be a brand new adjustment rod, and I'll walk you through on how to adjust your alternator and make sure your belt's at the right tension. So Okay, off to the side, I went ahead and prepped the new alternator. As you can see, I went ahead and kept the original screw and spring along with the top bracket, just because I personally liked that. The kit that we bought with this did come with a different bracket, but I chose to go ahead and stick with this one. I went ahead and replaced the bottom bracket, just so it's a little bit nicer, a little bit sleeker. But that's a personal preference, up to you. And now I'm gonna go ahead and pop this bottom bolt in. Once you get your alternator on, go ahead and put your belt on it while it's not tensioned, and then your bottom bolt closest to the engine should be tightened, but the one that's connected to the alternator should still be loose, just hand tightened. And then you're going to tension it along this rod. So you will either unscrew this or tighten it. Tightening will make it looser. Loosening this bolt will make this tighter. Now, if you have a slide rod, which is how typical alternators are on cars and tractors today, you will tighten that until the belt is about that tight, and you'll lock that bolt down. Once you lock down this bolt, you'll go ahead and lock down everything else. Make sure it's nice and secure and it's not going anywhere. Alright guys, that'll wrap it up for today's video. Thank you for tuning in. Just a little recap. We tackled the alternator, we tackled the coil pack in the front of the engine, along with finding out what make and model this 2N is specifically. And then just cleaning it up with the power washer as well. Tomorrow we'll be tackling the wiring harness, along with anything else that we are able to get to tomorrow. Maybe we'll tackle some of the gauges as well. Who knows? Thank you for tuning in. If you like this content, if you like watching me rebuild old stuff, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you'd like to support this channel and this project, I have a Patreon. I'll link it down below, along with my Etsy shop and a bunch of other stuff as well. Specifically to this tractor, if you're looking to restore one or you just want to learn a little bit more about it, I'll have some links linked in the description, along with a wiring harness diagram and a bunch of other stuff. So as always, thank you for joining.